What's going on, guys? Gig Accountant here. My name is Naz. I'm the one and only accountant who does gig economy work. Today, I wanted to share with you guys this one post on the Grubhub subreddit that I came across regarding Grubhub driver card order and pay orders. Apparently, the acronym for this is OWYA. Don't ask me what that stands for because I don't know what that stands for. But anyway, so this post was regarding Grubhub driver card orders and this one situation, this incident that this one poster, fellow driver, has encountered. It's really ridiculous and absurd, the situation that they encountered, but it's not the first time that I've actually seen drivers reporting such situations. But let's take a look at the post right now so you guys could see what I am talking about. So let's switch on over. Okay, so this is the Grubhub drivers subreddit. So Grubhub drivers, and the post reads, it's from Medic N82001, and the post title is "What a Show! No longer will I do orders that are OWYA after today. Ridiculousness abounds at Grubhub. We all know that. Tonight sent an order for a mom and pop pizza shop in the burbs of St. Paul. I call ahead, see I need to order these few items. 15 minutes until it's ready. Sweet. Head there, pull in, go inside. No bag, no gear, just me, and ask for my order. So, as you can tell, this driver was trying to go in as himself. He was trying to make it unclear that he was a Grubhub driver, and that's what I would assume that you want to do. Unfortunately, unlike DoorDash, Grubhub's card has in big print across the face of the card has it printed Grubhub, so it's hard to really mask the fact that you are a Grubhub driver. I had provided a suggestion regarding how to get around this. Try to order over the phone, see if they'll take the card over the phone. And actually, shout out to the bad guy. He actually, in his channel, gave a website where you are able to order stickers for your card, and you can actually cover the face of the card, and that will cover the letters of Grubhub. So something to think about. But back to the article. I offer up. Let's see. Owner of the place asks, cash or credit? I offer up their Grubhub branded credit card. He looks at it, hands it back to me without swiping, says, we don't take Grubhub orders or their credit cards here. You'll need to pay for the order yourself with cash or your own card. If you don't, I'll call the police and have you cited for theft. What? Crazy situation. And this is something actually I brought up in this very sub. And many folks disputed that, saying that, nobody would care about it enough. It's happening. So let's continue. I looked at him and said, okay, well, let's cancel the order and I'll let the customer know. He says, so you are going to pay before you leave, right? I respond by again offering the Grubhub card. By this point in the conversation, I know something is up. Sure enough, one of the local cops pulls in and blocks me in the lot. I wait patiently until the officer comes inside and explains what's going on. The officer replies with, well, you have two choices, a ticket for theft, or you can pay the man for your order. I've been chatting with Grubhub support since I first arrived, knowing something seemed odd about this order. I tell the officer I won't pay with my own money since Grubhub won't reimburse me. It's a $50 order, and the merchant won't take the card that Grubhub issued. Officer again reiterates it's a ticket for theft or pay the merchant. I said again I won't be using my own money. He goes back into his squad, prints me my own ticket under MN statute 327. MN I think stands for Minnesota, maybe? Not sure. For theft of property from a restaurant. That's crazy that this driver actually received a ticket for theft, especially considering the fact that he was willing and able to pay with the Grubhub driver card, and the merchant refused to take that pay. And it's crazy that the cop actually sided with them. Ridiculousness abounds, as this poster put very eloquently. So, let's continue. I call Grubhub driver care, who replies, "You are an independent contractor. Tickets are considered an operating expense since you contract with Grubhub to provide services, just like a parking ticket or tolls would be your responsibility." That makes me so infurious that Grubhub would actually say that and take that position. So basically, the position that Grubhub is taking is that Grubhub will compel you to take an offer under threat that it will negatively affect your stats, will affect your ability to schedule time with them to work. So, effectively, Grubhub is compelling you, inciting you to apparently commit a crime. And once you are cited for that crime, I don't actually think it's a crime. I think this police is kind of going on a power trip, but regardless of the case, the position that Grubhub has taken, that apparently excuse me, let's close that. Apparently, Grubhub will compel you to commit a crime, an act of a crime, and then they will take the position that the crime, getting a ticket, getting arrested for theft, because that's very possible, is a cost of doing business. And they're not going to take any accountability for that. It just blows my mind that Grubhub will outright come out and say that. It's ridiculous. It's absurd. But let's continue reading. So, I'm now $177 in the hole for the day because of Grubhub fraudulent orders to merchants that don't want to pay, and the lackeys at driver care claim a ticket is a business expense. Yep, best believe I'm reaching out to my attorney tomorrow and the local driver specialist. Grubhub will be paying for the defense of this ticket. It's absurd. And you know what else? The driver didn't even get paid for this order because Grubhub will not compensate you for these orders that are canceled, which is a whole other thing. It's just incredibly infuriating. But there looks like there's an update, so let's see what he has stated for the update. Update 217. To start, thanks for all the comments and thoughts regarding the crappy situation. I spoke with my attorney this morning, who advised me because of the ambiguity of the law that citation was written under, which was drafted in the 1960s and 1970s and hasn't caught up since. The law provides for the protection of the business owner before the customer. The attorney, this is for the driver. Honestly, this is not good. The attorney's initial response is that I shouldn't be communicating about the ticket with the agency that issued the citation, nor the business involved. Makes sense to me. His second step in the process will be to wait for the city police to forward the charges to the district court and city county's attorney's prosecutor's office this week. At that point, he has said that we should wait for my day in court and let the prosecutor explain to the district judge why this should go to trial. So this is something that's actually going to go to trial. Isn't that crazy? But what Grubhub is subjecting to drivers to, and a lot of the drivers are probably the lowest folks in terms of economic power. A lot of folks don't even speak English, and Grubhub is putting them into a situation where they are compelling them to commit crime and then washing their hands of any accountability or any responsibility, stating their position that that's just a cost of doing business. Getting arrested is a cost of doing business, according to Grubhub, for the drivers. Let's continue. The attorney's initial blah blah blah. At that point, he has said that we should wait for my day in court and let the prosecutor explained to the district judge why this should go to trial, and that we should go to trial if the judge doesn't outright dismiss the citation charges at arraignment, although I fully realize this will be lost work time, wages, and that I take the chance that I'd lose at trial. The media will likely latch onto the story once a trial would be set. I hope so. I hope that the media does latch onto the story and shames Grubhub for what they are doing. Really, Grubhub has sunk to the lowest of the low. Grubhub used to be probably the best of the gig economies companies to work for, and it really has become the worst in this past year. It really boggles the mind. This is ridiculous. But the good news to all this is that my personal corporate attorney has agreed to have one of his partners represent me, who specializes in criminal law for no cost to me. So win there. Oh, that's awesome to the attorney that decided to represent him at no cost. All right. Second part of the update. Oh, looks like there's a second update. Or no, second portion, I guess. My Grubhub driver specialist reached out to me today by email and then by phone regarding the situation. He was clear that Grubhub corporate is taking the situation seriously since they asked him to reach out after seeing the blow up of people on Reddit about it. Oh, so it looks like Grubhub actually does review the Reddit, the subreddit, Grubhub Reddit. And they've actually taken note of the situation. But they've only taken note of it. They didn't take note of it when they were calling Grubhub regarding this situation. They didn't take note about it until this blew up and there was some chance of media attention. Okay. I previously worked with the driver specialist on other issues, and I have been pleased with his abilities and responsiveness to the issues I previously raised. So I have some faith that we spoke about will be a catalyst for change with regards to the OWYA orders as a whole, and that in concept, the idea of a bigger market share is great. The execution of said changes could have been a bit more judicious and involved more vetting. That's it for now. And just something that as an aside, the guy is very well spoken over here, very articulate. He's using some fancy words over here. So I like that. Let's see what the comments are. Okay. You offered payment and restaurant fees. That's not theft. Okay. I agree with that. Continue the step. Yes, come Tuesday. Since apparently tomorrow is a holiday, I'll be going to the city's police chief in person. The problem with this particular city department is that it's a very flat department. There's the officer, a supervisor, or two that don't work on weekends or weekend nights, and then the chief. The city is one of those burbs that thinks they are so much better than they actually are, trying to be a big city when in reality it's small town politics around every corner. Okay. And he wrote another post. I am suspicious after looking up the business in the state business registry. One of the owner's last names is the same as the officer's last name that wrote the ticket. Interesting. So, what looks like might be going on is that the cop was related to the business owner, and the business owner called his relative to come over to give this guy a ticket. But that's how, inside politics works. But anyway, now benefit of the doubt is, as the last name is common, like Johnson or Smith. In the Twin Cities, there are 1.5 million people. I suppose it could be such that the names just happen to be the same. Okay. So, oops, let's go back here, see what's over here. The police fully understood what was happening. He came back and also pointed out that he could charge me under this. We'll fight the ticket. I'd say 98%. Okay, whatever. Oops, let's go back. View all comments. Let's see if there's anything else to really read. The long hard about these okay. Okay, so let's read this. I've previously thought long and hard about the Grubhub credit card thing and these OWYA orders. What does OWYA stand for? I don't know. If Grubhub had been smart, they'd chosen a non-branded card to help be more under the radar, like certain other competitors did, like Red Card from DoorDash, Pex Card from other companies. And I can understand a merchant refusing to run a card that says Grubhub on it because once you run that card, your credit card processor and your location gets put on some report for the owner of the card. Junk mail, mailing lists, and marketing are tips of the iceberg. But as a business owner myself, I can appreciate the desire to minimize costs and partnerships that might otherwise be not be worth it to me. But really, what WTF? Let's see what else. Okay. Oops. Let's go back. This is annoying. Show all comments. How can it be theft if you aren't stealing anything? The current theory. Okay, the current theory is that I ordered under false pretenses. Therefore, the owner is entitled to payment for those services. Since we all know Grubhub and all these gig apps claim independent contractor to absolve them of any responsibility, I'm on the hook as the customer. Yeah, whatever. I don't agree with that. Under false pretenses, it's going to be a hard argument. I mean, it's arguments made about Grubhub, but for the independent contractors, it's hard to. I personally feel like that'd be something hard to make that would stick. But yeah, I mean, and even if they make that stick, yeah, they refuse to complete the order. But he didn't receive the order, so the merchant refused to give him the food. So he's still not guilty of being of theft, even if that argument sticks in court. He's under no responsibility to reimburse the owner for that. I mean, unless it was something completely false. I mean, like something that like some sort of scam or fraud, which I guess argument could be made for, but whatever. I don't think it would stick. Grubhub driver care even offered to pay the guy for the order separately if he emailed or called in. Let's just say the suggestion was made by me to the officer. I hope the officer passed that info along. It was shortly after that the open sign in the window was turned off and the few drivers and the workers and the few drivers that worked for the business directly left real quick. I'm guessing fireworks were going off in the kitchen and that things may have been broken or thrown around. I didn't stick around to see and won't return to do orders in that city ever again. Okay? Let's see what else they got here. I've been assured by Grubhub driver care that the restaurant was removed from Grubhub system tonight so that no one would have to experience the inconvenience of the restaurant issue again. And until I talk to an attorney in person, I won't give out the name of the restaurant or the city involved because of the potential for litigation and cross litigation. I suspect the owner, as the owner probably has an attorney on retainer. Okay. This guy apparently doesn't believe him. Okay, I was finally allowed to leave. Nope, didn't even get to keep the food I supposedly stole. So how did he steal? He didn't keep the food. He didn't get the merchandise, the product. That sounds like common law 101. It's you can't be stealing unless there is that transfer of the goods, the product. Argument is that he stole the service, but you're not paying for the service, you're paying for the product. But anyway, arguments can be made either way. But anyway, I think that the owner has been screwed enough times by his local customers that he found some cop willing to write tickets for what is a civil matter. Okay. Looks like you got charged for stealing their time and their food, but what did you really get out of it? What did you gain? You didn't get food, so it's almost like you were involved in some sort of mischief or vandalism. So your theory is that the local cop is willing to lose his job for writing BS tickets to help out a friend who owns a shop, you don't know that they don't just pull in people off the street and put them in uniform, right? Your dumb cop have gone through months of training, hours and hours of book work and on-the-job evaluation before he is allowed to write tickets for civil matter. This guy doesn't believe that his story to be accurate. He disbelieves the story. And, you never know. I mean, these folks that post, I mean, they're anonymous, so you don't actually know if it's true or not. But I've seen similar incidents of this occurring in the past where other drivers have reported that the Grubhub order got canceled after they placed the order and arrived to the restaurant, and they just left without saying a word to the restaurant. Then I've read other incidents where it was also canceled, and the restaurant demanded the driver pay, and the driver actually went ahead and paid with his own personal funds, and Grubhub refused to reimburse the driver for this. So I'm not surprised by this being true. Okay. But yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. So I'm not going to read anymore. But this incident really blows my mind. It really infuriates me that Grubhub is doing this to its drivers. It used to be that Grubhub was one of the best gig economy companies to work for. Now it's sunk to be at the bottom. It's probably one of the worst now in terms of them kind of shifting the risk off to drivers, putting them into precarious situations where they are being compelled to apparently commit crimes and refusing to take any accountability for that. Let me open this up. So Grubhub has really sunk a lot in the past year. I mean, they've really botched this Grubhub driver card rollout. They're pretty much doing it the worst out of all the companies. I mean, DoorDash, at least it doesn't have DoorDash printed in large print across the face of it, so you're able to fly under the radar, and it's not really as overt that you are a gig economy worker, a food delivery company worker. But yeah, what do you guys think about that? Let me know in the comments. I think that this is a ridiculous situation, and it's just one more glaring example of all the things that is wrong with this driver card in its current way it's being brought out, the way it is being forced down the drivers' throats. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you think that the driver is right? Do you think the customer is right? The cop is right? Do you think Grubhub is right? Who do you think is right? Who do you think is wrong? All right, guys. So if you enjoyed the content, please hit that like button, hit that notification bell, and hit that subscribe button. That's all I got to say for now. So you guys work hard, work smart, stay hustling, and have a good one.